Hello, my friend. This is Clyde. Not so early in the new year. I don't know how this conversation today is going to end, but I feel compelled to raise the issue. I could wait for another day, maybe in another 6 weeks. But why put off something that is important? After all, I don't know if we will ever get another opportunity like this. Anyway, let me get straight to the meat of the matter. We sometimes get uncomfortable with the matter of love until it is too late. You hear it in the tearful tributes of a son at his mother's funeral or a best friend who had not kept in touch over the years. When was the last time you had a conversation about love with someone you claim to love, like the one I'm going to talk about right now? Let us go back to the beach on the Sea of Galilee. It is a quiet morning. Not many people are out there except Jesus and a few of his disciples. He had just fed them a simple breakfast of roast fish and chunks of white bread. I wonder if he served a hot beverage as well. Just a thought. Anyway, the guys were hungry and they were chowing down on the food, and Jesus might have called out to Peter right there in front of the others. Hey, Peter, my friend, let me ask you something. Do you love me? Like, do you love me more than these? Awkward. It is uncomfortable for two guys to talk about love for each other, and certainly not in public. We don't do life like that as men. Just imagine two guys running to each other in a department store, and one of them says, "Hey, Joe, I love you, my friend." And then the other says, "I love you too." It is easier to give each other a beer hug, bump fists, high fives, bump feet, or any funny gestures, but to yell, "I love you" in public? I don't think so. But this was not just two high school buddies who have not seen each other in ages. This is Jesus and his very close friend Peter and a few others. Guys who have been hanging out together with Jesus for a little over 3 years every day. Guys who have changed the course of their lives to be part of Jesus' inner circle. It has been awesome just being with each other. Recently, the group love was tested and Jesus was arrested, and the inner circle, one betrayed him, one denied him in between layers of profound profanity, and the others, they ran and hid. They deserted Jesus. Some kind of love, don't you think? So now, for the third time, a few of them were hanging out with Jesus, and it might have been a little bit uncomfortable. And in the middle of eating, Jesus calls out to Peter, "Do you love me more than these?" If I were Peter, I might have stuttered, or I would have asked him outright, "What kind of a question is that? Why in the middle of a meal would you embarrass me by asking me if I love you?" But let me ask you, if you were Peter, what would your answer be? Do you really love Jesus? Don't get me wrong. Right now, I'm struggling to give an honest answer myself, because if truth be told, I would prefer if Jesus did not ask me that question. But many of us, we claim we love Jesus, but do we? We love some features of Jesus. We love Jesus in times of need. We love Jesus on Sundays in church. But when Jesus meets you in one of your daily activities, on the job, when you're out having fun with the boys, we struggle to answer that question truthfully. Here's what I'm talking about. In John 14, verse 15, Jesus states clearly, "If you love me, keep my commandments." No, I'm not talking about the Big Ten, although they could be considered part of it. He has commanded us to love one another, to look out for each other, to support each other, to care for each other. Some of us get a D grade for that. He commands us to show love to those in need, but for many of us, we do that in superficial ways and only at certain times of the year. For that, some of us might get a B. But here is a cracker. We love him because he first loved us and gave himself for us. That is a challenge, because we love him because he died for us. But how we show that love in our daily lives leaves Jesus to ask the question that he asked Peter. You know how this love thing goes. We love our spouses, we love our children, we love our jobs, we love our houses, we love to go on vacation, we love Christmas, we love so many things and so many activities and so many features of our good life. But Jesus, he gets the leftovers. We hardly want people at work to know that we are Christians, let alone to tell them that we love Jesus. We wear the t-shirt with Christian messages when we are going to the church picnic, but hardly when you're going to an NFL game in a packed stadium. We claim we love him, but our neighbors to the left and the ones across the street could never say of us, that guy loves Jesus. You can see it in his action. Hello, my friend. This is Clyde, and I'm having this uncomfortable chat with you so early in the year because I need to do better. You need to do better. Pretty much many of us as Christians need to do better. Jesus deserves more than the lip service kind of love or the Sunday church kind of love. Jesus wants us to tell him what Peter said the third time that morning. Jesus, you know that I love you and mean it. Jesus wants us to go on and not be ashamed to tell the world, I love Jesus. Jesus wants me to love him so much that I do not compromise my Jesus values when I'm out with the boys, or when I'm hanging out with my girlfriends, or when I'm away on vacation, or when the lottery jackpot reaches millions of dollars. Jesus wants to hear, I love you, more often, and certainly to see it, to feel it, and to know that this is one Christian that loves Jesus totally. And now these three remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. 1 Corinthians 13 and verse 13. I have faith in God because I want to experience him in my life in miraculous ways. I have hope in Jesus that he's coming back for me one day. How much do I love Jesus? Beginning today, I'm going to fix that one. Because the greatest of all three is love. Jesus, I love you.